which reaction represents the weight process for producing phosphoric acid CF5PO4 3F plus 5S2SO4 plus 10S2O is equal to 3S 3PO4 plus 5 Ca SO4 2S2O plus HF. The weight process involves reacting fluorapatite CF5PO4 3F with sulfuric acid to produce phosphoric acid, calcium sulfate dehydrate, and hydrofluoric acid. What is the most stable form of sulfur at room temperature? Sulfur. Rhombic sulfur with yellow brittle octahedral crystals and ciliates S8 structure is the most stable form at room temperature, which property is which of the following is a source of phosphorus? Ca3PO4 to phosphate rock. Ca3PO4 2 is a primary natural source of phosphorus for fertilizer. Bleaching powder is prepared by reacting chlorine gas with which compound CaOH2. Chlorine gas reacts with dry slacked lime CaOH2 to form bleaching powder CaOCl2. What is the composition of water gas? CO plus AH2. Water gas is a 1:1 mixture of carbon monoxide CO and hydrogen AH2 produced by passing streams over red hot cokes. Borazine is formed by reacting diboron with which compounds NH3. Diboron B2H6 reacts with ammonia NH3 to form borazine B3N3H6, a cyclic compound resembling benzene. Which of the following is a bidentate ligands? C2O C2O42 oxalate C2O42 minus forms two coordinate bonds with a metal ion, making it a bidentate ligands. What is the name of complex CONH3 4Cl Cl plus tetra amine dichlorocobalt 3 ion? The complex has 4 ammonia, 2 chloride ligands and a +1 charge, indicating cobalt in the +3 oxidation state. Which method was primarily used to determine the earth ages? Uranium layer dating of zircon crystals estimated the earth age at 4.54 billion years. What is the thermal process reaction for producing phosphoric acid? P4O10 plus 6H2O is equal to 4H3PO4. The thermal process reacts phosphorus pentoxide P4O10 with water to form phosphoric acid. What is the crystal shape of monoclinic sulfur? Needle-like. Monoclinic sulfur forms a needle-like translucent crystals between 96 degrees Celsius to and 119 degrees Celsius, which element forms a strong double and triple bonds. Carbon forms stable double and triple bonds in alkanes and alkynes, unlike silicon's single bonds. Which oxide of silicon has a network structure? Silicon dioxide SiO2 forms a covalent network structure used in glass and quartz. Which compound is a key component in glass production? SiO2. Silicon dioxide SiO2 is essential for glass manufacturing due to its network structure. What is the primary phosphorus source in bone ash? CF5PO4 3OH. Bone ash contains hydroxypated CF5PO4 3OH, a phosphorus source. What is the produced when phosphoric acid is heated with carbon P4? Heating phosphoric acid with carbon produce white phosphorus P4 and carbon monoxide. What is the composition of semi-water gas? CO plus H2 plus N2. Semi-water gas combine water gas CO plus H2 and producer gas CO plus N2. What is the primary use of water gas? Synthesis of methanol. Water gas is used as a synthesis gas for methanol or ammonia production. uh, what forms when water gas is treated with vaporized oil, carbureted water gas, adding hydrocarbons via vaporized oil produced carbureted water gas. What is the structure of graphite? Layers of carbon atoms. Graphite has hexagonal layers of carbon atoms, making it soft and slippery, which property is not true for graphite. Transparent. Graphite is opaque, unlike transparent diamond. What is the chemical formula of bleaching powder? CaOClCl2. Bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride, CaOCl 2. What is an application of bleaching powder? Water treatment. Bleaching powder disinfectants water by killing bacteria. What is the molecular formula of borazine? B3N3H6. Borazine is a cyclic compound with alternating boron and nitrogen atoms. B3N3H6. Which element has a diagonal relationship with silicon? Boron and silicon share properties due to similar charge density and atomic size. Which property is shared by boron and silicon oxide? Acidic nature. B2O3 and SiO2 are acidic oxides capable of forming gases. Which ligands forms stable ring structure with metal ions? Chelating ligands like EDTA form stable rings and binding through multiple sites. What is the coordination number of CONH3 42 plus 4? The complex has 4 ammonia ligands giving a coordination number of 4. What is the name of K4FeCN6? Potassium hexacyanoferrate. The complex has 6 cyanide ligands and iron in the +2 oxidation states. Which gas precipitates metal sulfides in qualitative analysis? H3S. Hydrogen sulfide H2S forms insoluble sulfides for metal separation. Which metal sulfide is black? PBS. Lead sulfide PBS is black, aiding in metal identification. Which oxy acid is of chlorine is the strongest? AClO4. Perchloric acid AClO4 is the strongest due to chlorine's +7 oxidation states. What is the oxidation states of chlorine in AClO? +1. In AClO, chlorine is +1. H is equal to +1, O is equal to -2. Neutral molecules. Which is the neutral complex? NiCO4. NiCO4 is neutral with no overall charge. Which element is used in radioactive dating for Earth age? Uranium lead dating estimates the Earth at 4.54 billion years. What is the molecular formula of phosphate rock? Ca3PO4 2. Phosphate rock is primarily Ca3PO4 2, a phosphorus source. Hot gas is produced with white phosphorus from phosphoric acid and carbon CO. AS3PO4 plus carbon is equal to P4 plus CO produce carbon monoxide and white phosphorus, which carbon allotrope is used in pencil. Graphite soft layered structure is used in pencil lead, which compound is used as a lubricant. Graphite's slippery layers make it an effective lubricant. What is the primary use of carbureted water gas fuel for lighting? Carbureted water gas enriched with hydrocarbons is used for lighting, which ligands is polydentate EDTA. EDTA forms multiple coordinate bonds, making it polydentate, which compounds forms when xenon reacts with fluorine XeF2. Xenon forms XeF2 with fluorine under high energy conditions. What is the crystal structure of rhombic sulfur? Octahedral rhombic sulfur forms yellow brittle octahedral crystals with an S4 structure, which carbon hydride is stable CH4. Methane CH4 is a stable carbon hydride, unlike silane SiH4, which compound is used in adhesive silicones. Silicones are used in adhesive due to their flexibility and durability. What is the stability temperature range for monocycline sulfur? 96 degrees Celsius to 119 degrees Celsius. Monocycline sulfur is stable between 96 degrees Celsius and 190 degrees Celsius, forming needle-like crystals. Which elements oxide forms a glass-like structure? Silicon dioxide forms a glass-like network structure. What is the primary product when bone ash reacts with sulfuric acid AS3PO4? Bone ash Ca5PO4 3OH reacts with sulfuric acid to produce phosphoric acid AS3PO4. Which gas is used for ammonia synthesis? Water gas CO plus H2 is used for ammonia synthesis, which carbon allotrope is the hardest. Diamond 3D networks structures make it the hardest material. What is the role of H2S in qualitative analysis? Precipitating metal sulfides. H2S forms insoluble sulfides for metal separation. Which chlorine oxy acid has a plus 3 oxidation states? AClO3. Chlorous acid HClO2 has chlorine in the plus 3 oxidation state. Plus 1 O2 is equal to minus 4 neutral. What is the coordination number of APCN6 4 minus plus 6? The complex has 6 cyanide ligands, giving a coordination number of 6. Which ligand is impedentate? NO2 minus nitrate. NO2 minus binds via nitrogen or oxygen, making it impedentate. Which element forms compounds with oxygen under special conditions? Xenon forms compounds like XeO3 under high energy conditions. What is the phosphorus source in guano? PO4 3 minus PO4 3 minus guano contains phosphate ion PO4 3 minus a phosphorus source. What forms when phosphorus gas is cooled? P4 phosphorus gas cooled to form white phosphorus P4 in an inert atmosphere. Which element is used in batteries for conductivity? Graphite layers structure allows electron movements suitable for batteries. Which compound disinfectants agricultural surfactants CaOCl2. Bleaching powder CaOCl2 disinfectants surfaces and prevents fungal growth. What is the oxidation state of cobalt in CONH3 for Cl2 plus 3. The plus 1 charge with 4 neutral NH3 and 2 Cl minus requires cobalt to be plus 3. Which type of radioactivity occurs naturally? Normal radioactivity. Normal radioactivity involves spontaneous decay of neutral unstable nuclei. Which elements exhibit artificial radioactivity? Cobalt 16. Cobalt 16 is produced by bombarding stable cobalts. An artificial radioactivity example. What method dates zircon crystals? Uranium lead dating. Uranium lead dating determines the age of zircon crystals. Which law governs radioactive decay rate? Rate is proportional to atom number. The decay rate is proportional to the number of radioactive atoms. Which compound is used for ammonia synthesis? CO plus H2. Water gas CO plus H2 is used for ammonia synthesis. Which ligands bind through two different atoms? NO2 minus nitrate. NO2 minus is MB dented binding via nitrogen or oxygen. What is the structure of diamond 3D network? Diamonds 3D covalent networks make it extremely hard. Which compound is used in cutting tools? Diamonds hardness makes it ideal for cutting tools. Which element oxide is a greenhouse gas? Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, unlike silicon's solid oxide. What is the primary use of SiH4? Semiconductors production. Silane SiH4 is used to produce silicon for semiconductors. Hot condition allows inert gases to form compounds. High energy inert gases like xenon form compounds under high energy conditions. What forms when bone ash reacts with sulfuric acid, H3PO4. Bone ash reacts with sulfuric acid to produce phosphoric acid, H3PO4. What is the oxidation state of zircon in K4FeCN6 plus 2? The minus 4 charge with 6 CN6 ligands requires iron to be plus 4. Which sulfide is yellow? Is yellow CDS. Cadmium sulfide. Cadmium sulfide is yellow, used in qualitative analysis. Which chlorine oxy acid has 3 oxygen atoms. AClO 3. Chloric acid AClO3 contains 3 oxygen atoms. What is the use of NiCO? NiCO4 nickel purification. NiCO4 is used in the Mond process for nickel purification. Which elements is in a zircon crystal for dating uranium? Uranium in zircon crystals is used for uranium lead dating. What temperature produce white phosphorus from bone ash? 1500 degrees Celsius. Heating at 1500 degrees Celsius converts bone ash and carbon to phosphorus. Gas cooled to P4. Which gas is produced by reacting FeS with ACl? AS2S. FeS plus 2ACl is equal to 4 is equal to FeCl2 plus H2S produce hydrogen sulfide. Which ligand is monodentate NH3? Ammonia NH3 forms one coordinate bonds making it monodentate. Which compound is used in jewelry? Diamond transparency and hardness make it ideal for jewelry. Which element forms silicates similar to boron, borates, silicon forms silicates with complex anionic structure similar to boron borates. What is the primary use of semi-water water gas? Semi-water gas industrial fuel. Semi-water gas is a cost-effective industrial fuel which elements form compounds with fluorine under high energy xenon. Xenon forms compounds like XeF4 under high energy conditions. What is the phosphorus source of fish bonds? Ca3PO42 Ca3PO42 fish bonds contain a Ca3PO4 2a phosphorus source. What is the oxidation state of copper in CuNH3 42 plus 2? The plus 2 charge with 4 neutral NH3 ligands requires copper to be plus 2. Which sulfide is white? ZNS. Zinc sulfide ZNS is a white used in qualitative analysis. Which chlorine oxyacid has 2 oxygen atoms. AClO2 chlorous acid AClO2 contains 2 oxygen atoms. What is the primary use of carbon dioxide? Primary use of carbon dioxide greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas contributing to global warming. Which element is used in water treatment? Chlorine via compounds like bleaching powder, disinfectants, water. What is the coordination number of CONH3 4Cl plus 6? The complex has 4 NH3 and 2 Cl minus ligands, giving a coordination number of 6. Which compound forms by reacting Ca3PO42 with carbon? P4 heating Ca3PO4 2 with carbon produce white phosphorus P4 and calcium oxide. Which compound is used in paint as a pigment? ZNS. Zinc sulfide ZNS is used as a white pigment in paint. What is the oxidation state of nickel in NiCO4 0? The NiCO4 carbon monoxide is a neutral ligand, so nickel is in the zero oxidation states. Which element forms a stable hydride used in fuel? Carbon methane CH4 a carbon hydride is a stable fuel source. What is the primary use of B2O3 glass production? Boron dioxide B2O3 is used in borosilicates glass production. Which compound is formed by reacting B2A6 with excess NH3 with excess NH3 B3N3 A6 diboron B2A6 with excess ammonia form boraging B3N3 A6. Which compound is used in the production of semiconductors? SiH4 silence. SiH4 is used to deposit silicon in semiconductor manufacturing. What is the primary source of boron in borax? Na2 B4O7 10H2O borax. Na2B4O7 10H2O is a primary natural source of boron. Which compound is used as a bleaching agent in textile? CaOCl2 bleaching powder. CaOCl2 is used as a bleaching agent in textile. What is the oxidation state of xenon in XeF2 plus 2? In XeF2 xenon has a plus 2 oxidation states. F is equal to -1 neutral molecules. Which elements is used in element used in the production of fertilizers? Phosphorus deriving from phosphate rock is essential for fertilizer production. What is the primary use of P4O10 phosphoric acid production? Phosphorus pentoxides P4O10 reacts with water to produce phosphoric acid. Which compound is formed by reacting Ca5PO4 3F with sulfuric acid? S3PO4 fluorapatide Ca5PO4 H4,3F reacts with sulfuric acid to produce phosphoric acid H3PO4. What is the structure of borage compared to benzene? Cyclic with alternating B and N. Borage B3N3A6 has a cyclic structure with alternating boron and nitrogen atom similar to benzene's carbon rings. Which element hydride is used in airbags? Nitrogen gas into produce from sodium azides is used in airbags. What is the primary use of CaSO4 2H2O? Plaster of Paris. Calcium sulfate dihydrate CaSO4 2H2O is used to produce plaster of Paris. Which compound is used in the production of matches? P4. White phosphorus P4 was historically used in match production. What is the oxidation state of chlorine in HClO4 +7? In perchloric acid HClO4 chlorine has a +7 oxidation states. +1 hydrogen O4 is equal to -8 neutral molecules. Which compounds is used in the production of ammonia via the Haber process? N2. Nitrogen gas N2 is used with hydrogen in the Haber process to produce ammonia. What is the primary source of sulfur in nature? S8. Elemental sulfur S8 is a primary neutral source found in deposits. Which compound is used in the production of silicon polymers? Silicon chloride, silicon tetrachloride SiCl4 is used to produce silicon polymers. What is the oxidation state of boron in B2H6 plus 3 in diboron B2H6? Boron is typically considered to have a +3 oxidation state due to its bonding. Which compounds is a byproduct in the wet process for phosphoric acid production? CaSO4 2H2O calcium sulfate dihydrate CaSO4 2H2O is a byproduct when fluorapatite reacts with sulfuric acid. What is the hybridization of carbon in diamonds? sp3. Which elements is used in the production of borosilicate glass? Boron via B2O3 is used in borosilicate glass for thermal resistance. What is the primary use of SO2 in industry? Sulfuric acid production. Sulfuric acid SO4 SO2 is a precursor in the production of sulfuric acid via the contact process. Which compound is formed by reacting P4 with oxygen? P4O10. White phosphorus P4 reacts with excess oxygen to form phosphorus pentoxide P4O10. What is the oxidation state of phosphorus in H3PO4 +5? In H3PO4 phosphorus is +5, H is equal to +1, O is equal to -2 neutral molecules. Which element is used in the production of semiconductors besides silicon? Boron is used as a dopant in silicon based semiconductors. Which compound is used as a flux in metallurgy? CaCO3 calcium carbonate CaCO3 is used as a flux to remove impurities in metallurgy. What is the primary use of NH3 in industry? Fertilizer production. Ammonia NH3 is used to produce fertilizers like ammonia nitrate. Which compounds is formed by reacting Xe with excess fluorine? XeF6 xenon reacts with excess of fluorine under high energy to form XeF6. What is the coordination number of NiEn 3 to 2 plus 6? Ethylene diamine En is bidentate. So 3 N ligands give a coordination number of 6. Which compound is used in the production of cement? CaCO3. Calcium carbonate CaCO3 is a key raw material in cement production. What is the oxidation state of sulfur in SO2? Plus 4 in SO2. Sulfur is plus 4. Oxygen is equal to minus 2 neutral molecules. Which elements is used in the production of explosive nitrogen compounds like ammonium nitrate are used in explosives. What is the primary use of CaOS to construction? Slacked lime CaOS2 is used in construction for mortar and plaster. Which compound is formed by heating CO3? CaO Heating calcium carbonate CaCO3 produce calcium oxide CaO and carbon dioxide. What is the hybridization of carbon in graphite sp2? Which compound is used in the production of sulfuric acid SO2? Sulfur dioxide SO2 is oxidized to SO3 in the contact process for sulfuric acid. What is the oxidation state of phosphorus in P4O10 plus 5 in P4O10 phosphorus is plus 5. O is equal to minus 2 neutral molecule. Which element is used in the production of photovoltaic cells? Silicon. Photovoltaic cells use silicon. Silicon is the primary material in photovoltaic cells for solar energy. What is the primary use of calcium chloride dicyn? Calcium chloride CaCl2 is used for dicyn rods due to its hygroscopic nature. Which compound is formed by reacting NH3 with carbon dioxide NH2 to carbon CO. Ammonia reacts with carbon monoxide to form urea NH2 to carbon monoxide in fertilizer production. Which compound is used as a drying agent? CaCl2. Calcium chloride CaCl2 is hygroscopic and used as a drying agent in laboratories. What is the primary use of H2SO4 in industry? Fertilizer production. Sulfuric acid H2SO4 is used to produce fertilizer like ammonium sulfate. Which compound is formed by reacting SO2 with oxygen in the contact process SO3. In the contact process SO2 is oxidized to SO3 which is then used to produce sulfuric acid. What is the oxidation state of nitrogen in NH3? Minus 3 in NH3. Nitrogen is minus 3. H is equal to plus 1 neutral molecules. Which reaction represents the wet process for producing phosphoric acid? CA5PO4 3F plus 5H2SO4 plus 10H2O is equal to 3H3PO4 plus 5CaSO4 2H2O plus HF. The wet process involves reacting fluorapatite CA5PO4 3F with sulfuric acid to produce phosphoric acid, calcium sulfate, dihydrate and hydrofluoric acid. What is the most stable form of sulfur at room temperature? Rhombic sulfur. Rhombic sulfur with yellow brittle octahedral crystal and a cyclic S8 structure is the most stable form of room temperature. Which property is characteristics of diamond? Transparent and shiny diamonds, 3D covalent networks makes it transparent, shiny, and the hardest known material, unlike graphite, uh, which is opaque. Which of the following is a source of phosphorus? Ca3PO42. Phosphate rock Ca3PO42 is a primary natural source of phosphorus for fertilizer. Bleaching powder is prepared by reacting chlorine gas with which compounds CaOH2. Chlorine gas reacts with dry slacked lime CaOH2 to form bleaching powder CaOCl2. What is the composition of water gas CO plus H2? Water gas is a 1:1 mixture of carbon monoxide CO and hydrogen H2 produced by passing a stem over red hot cokes. Borage is formed by reacting diborane with which compounds NH3 diborane B2A6 reacts with ammonia NH3 to form borage B3N3A6 a cyclic compounds resembling benzene. Which of the following is a bidentate ligands? C2O4 2 minus oxalate C2O4 2 minus form two coordinate bonds with a metal ion, making it a bidentate ligand. What is the name of a complex CONH3 4 Cl plus tetraamine dichloro cobalt 3 ion? The complex has 4 ammonia 2 chloride ligands and a 1 plus 1 charge indicating cobalt in a plus 3 oxidation state. Which method was primarily used to determine the earth age? Uranium lead dating of zircon crystals estimated the earth is at 4.54 billion years. What is the thermal processes reaction for producing phosphoric acid? P4O10 plus 6H2O is equal to 4 H3PO4. The thermal processes reacts phosphorus pentoxide P4O10 with water to form phosphoric acid. What is the crystal shape of monoclinic sulfur? Needle-like monoclinic sulfur form needle-like translucent crystals between 96 degrees Celsius and 119 degrees Celsius. Which element forms a strong double and triple bonds? Carbon forms stable double and triple bonds in alkanes and alkynes. Unlike silicon single bonds. Which oxide is silicon has a network structure? Silicon dioxide forms a covalent network structure used in glass and quartz. Which compound is a key component in glass production? Silicon dioxide is essential for glass manufacturing due to its network structure. What is the primary phosphorus source in bone ash? Ca5PO43OH. Bone ash contains hydroxyapatite Ca5PO43OH, a phosphorus source. What is produced when phosphoric acid is heated with carbon? P4 heating phosphoric acid with carbon produced with phosphorus P4 and carbon monoxide. What is the composition of a semi-water gas? CO plus H2 plus N2. Semi-water gas combines water gas CO plus H2 and producer gas CO plus N2. What is the primary use of water gas? What is the primary use of water gas? Synthesis of methanol. Synthesis of methanol. Water gas is used as a synthesis gas for methanol or ammonia methanol or ammonia. What forms when water gas is treated with vaporized oil? carbureted water gas adding hydrocarbons via vaporized oil proceed carbureted water gas. What is the structure of graphite? What is the structure of graphite? Layers of carbon atoms. Graphite has hexagonal layers of carbon atoms, making it soft and slippery. Which property is not true for graphite? Transparent. Graphite is opaque, unlike transparent diamond. What is the chemical formula of bleaching powder? CaOCl2. Bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2. What is an application of bleaching powder? Water treatment. Bleaching powder disinfectants water by killing bacteria. What is the molecular formula of borage? B3N3H6. Borage is a cyclic compound with alternating boron and nitrogen atoms. B3N3A6. Which element has a diagonal relationship with silicon? Boron and silicon share properties due to similar charge density and atomic size. Whose property is shared by boron and silicon oxide? Acidic nature. B2O3 and silicon dioxide are acidic oxides capable of forming glasses. Which elegance formed a stable ring structure with metal ions. Silating ligands like EDTA form stable rings by binding through multiple sites. What is the coordination number of CONH3? 4 2 plus 4. The complex has 4 ammonia ligands given a coordination number of 4. What is the number of K4FeCN6? K4FeCN6 potassium cyanoferrate 2. The complex has 6 cyanide ligands and iron in the plus 2 oxidation state. Which gas precipitate metal sulfide in qualitative analysis? H2S. Hydrogen sulfide H2S forms insoluble sulfides for metal separation. Whose metal sulfide is black? PBS. Lead sulfide PBS is black, aiding in metal identification. Which oxy acid of chlorine? Chlorine is the strongest. AClO4 perchloric acid AClO4 is the strongest due to chlorines plus 7 oxidation states. What is the oxidation states of chlorine in ACl? Plus 1 in ACl. Chlorine is plus 1 is equal to plus 1. O is equal to minus 2. Neutral molecules. Which is a neutral complex? NiCO4. NiCO4 is a neutral which with no overall charge. Which element is used in radioactive dating for Earth age? Uranium. Uranium-led dating estimates the Earth age at 4.54 billion years. What is the molecular formula of phosphate rock? Ca3PO4 2. Phosphate rock is primarily Ca3PO4 2, a phosphorus source. Hot gas is produced with white phosphorus from phosphoric acid and carbon monoxide. H3PO4 plus C is equal to P4 plus carbon monoxide produce carbon monoxide and white phosphorus. Which carbon allotrope is used in pencil? Graphite soft layered structure is used in a pencil lead. Which compound is used as a lubricant? Graphite slippery layers make it an effective lubricants. What is the primary use of carbureted water gas? Fuel for lightening. Carbureted water gas indices with hydrocarbons. Universes with hydrocarbons is used for lightening. Which ligands is polydentate? EDTA forms multi coordinate bonds, making it polydentate. Which compounds formed when xenon reacts with fluorine? XeF2. Xenon forms XeF2 with fluorine under high energy conditions. What is the crystal structure of rhombic sulfur octahedral rhombic sulfur forms yellow brittle octahedral crystals with an S8 structure which carbon hydride is stable methane CH4 is stable carbon hydride unlike silane SiH4 which compound is used in adhesive silicones are used in adhesive due to their flexibility and durability. What is the stability temperature range for monoclinic sulfur 96 degrees Celsius to 119 degrees Celsius. Monoclinic sulfur is stable between 96 degrees Celsius and 119 degrees Celsius, forming a needle-like crystals whose elements oxide forms a glass-like structure. Silicon oxide SiO2 forms a glass-like network structure. What is the primary products when bone ash reacts with sulfuric acid bone ash reacts with sulfuric acid A3PO4 bone ash Ca5PO4 3OH reacts with sulfuric acid to produce phosphoric acid H3PO4 whose gas is used for ammonia synthesis. Water gas CO plus H2 is used for ammonia synthesis. Whose carbon allotrope is the hardest diamond 3D network structure makes it the hardest material. What is the role of H2S in qualitative analysis? Precipitating metals sulfide H2S forms in soluble sulfides for metal separation. Whose chlorine oxy acid has a +3 oxidation state. AClO2 chlorous acid ACl O2 AClO2 has chlorine in the +3 oxidation state. AS is equal to +1 O2 is equal to -2 neutral. What is the oxidation what is the coordination number of efficient 6 4 minus plus 6 the complex has 6 cyanide ligands giving a coordination number of 6 which ligands is a MB dented NO2 minus nitride NO2 minus bind via nitrogen or oxygen making it MB dented which elements form compounds with oxygen under special conditions. Xenon forms compounds like XeO3 under high energy conditions. What is the phosphorus source in guano? PO4 3 minus guano contains phosphate ions. PO4 3 minus a phosphorus source. What forms when phosphorus gas is cooled? P4 phosphorus gas cools to form white phosphorus P4 in an inert atmosphere. Which element is used in batteries for conductivity? Graphite layered structure allows electron movement suitable for batteries. Which compound disinfects agriculture surface? CaOCl2 bleaching powder CaOCl2 disinfects surfaces and prevents fungal growth. What is the oxidation state of cobalt in CONH3 for Cl plus? Cl plus 3 the plus 1 charge with 4 neutral NH3 and 2 Cl minus requires cobalt to B plus 3 which type of radioactive occurs. Naturally, normal radioactivity involves spontaneous decay of natural unstable nuclei. Which element exhibit artificial radioactivity? Cobalt 60 is produced by bombarding stable cobalt and artificial radioactivity. Example: what method dates zircon crystals? Uranium lead dating determines the age of zircon crystal. Which slow governs radioactive decay rate? Rate is proportional to atom number. The decay rate is proportional to the number of radioactive atoms. Which compounds is used for ammonia synthesis? CO plus H2 water gas CO plus H2 is used for ammonia synthesis. Which ligands binds through two different atoms NO 2 minus nitrate, NO2 minus is Mb dented binding via nitrogen or oxygen via nitrogen or oxygen. What is the structure of diamond? 3D networks, diamonds, 3D covalent networks makes it extremely hard. Which compound is used in cutting tools? Diamond hardness make it ideal for cutting tools. Which elements? Oxide is a greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, unlike silicon's solid oxide. What is the primary use of SI is for semiconductor production? Silane SiO4 is used to produce silicon for semiconductors. What condition allows inert gases to form compounds? High inert gases like xenon form compounds under high energy conditions. What forms when bone ash reacts with sulfuric acid? H3PO4. Bone ash reacts with sulfuric acid to produce phosphoric acid, H3PO4. What is the oxidation state of iron in K4Fe6? Plus to the minus 4 charge with 6 Cn minus elegans requires iron to be plus 2, which sulfide is yellow, CDS. Cadmium sulfide, CDS is yellow, used in qualitative analysis. Which chlorine oxy acid has 3 oxygen atoms, ACl O3. Chloric acid HClO3 contains 3 oxygen atoms. What is the use of NiCO4? Nickel purification, NiCO4 is used in the Mont process for nickel purification. Nickel purification, which element is in zircon crystal for dating? Uranium is zircon crystals is used for uranium lead dating. What temperature produce white phosphorus from bone ash? 1500 degrees Celsius. Heating at 1500 degrees Celsius convert bone ash and carbon to phosphorus gas, cool to P4. Which gas is produced by reacting FeS with ACl, S2S? FeS plus AC plus 2ACl is equal to FeCl2 plus S2S produced hydrogen sulfide. Which ligand is monodentate? Monodentate in NH3. Ammonia NH3 forms one coordinate bonds, making it monodentate. Which compound is used in jewelry? Diamond transparency and hardness make it ideal for jewelry. Which element forms silicate? Silicate similar to boron borate. Silicon forms silicate with complex anionic structure similar to boron borax. What is the primary use of semi water gas? Industrial fuel. Semi water gas is a cost effective industrial fuel. Which elements forms compounds with fluorine under high energy? Xenon forms compounds like XeF4 under high energy conditions. What is the phosphorus source in fish bones? Ca3PO4 2. Fish bone contains Ca3PO4 2, a phosphorus source. What is the oxidation state of copper in CuNH3 4 2 minus NH3 2 plus? Plus 2, the plus 2 charge with 4 neutral NH3 ligands requires copper to be plus 2. Which sulfide is white? Zinc sulfide ZNS is white, used in qualitative analysis. Which chlorine oxo acid has 2 oxygen atoms? AClO2. Chlorous acid AClO2 contains 2 oxygen atoms. What is the primary use of carbon dioxide? Greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas contributing to global warming. Which elements is used in water treatment. Chlorine via compound like bleaching powder, disinfectants, water. What is the coordination number of CO? NH3 for Cl 2 plus 6. The complex gas for NH3 and 2 Cl minus elegance, giving a coordination number of plus 6, which compound forms by reacting Ca3PO4 to with carbon P4. Heating Ca3PO4 to with carbon produce white phosphorus P4 and calcium oxide. Which compounds is used in paints as a pigments? Zinc sulfate, zinc sulfide. ZNS is used as a white pigments in paints. What is the oxidation sulfate oxidation state of nickel in NiCO4? 0 in NiCO4. Carbon monoxide is a neutral elegance, so nickel is in the zero oxidation states. Which elements forms a stable hydride used in fuel? Carbon methane CS4. Carbon hydride is a stable fuel source. What is the primary use of B2O3? Glass production. Boron trioxide B2O3 is used in borosilicates. Borosilicate glass production. Which compounds is formed by reacting B2A6 with excess NH3. B3N3A6 diboron. B2A6 with excess ammonia forms. Ammonia forms borazine B3N3A6. Which compound is used in the production of semiconductors? SiH4 silane. SiH4 is used to deposit silicon in a semiconductor manufacturing. What is the primary source of boron in borax? Na2B4O7 10H2O. Borax Na2B4O7 10H2O is a primary natural source of boron. Which compound is used as a bleaching agent in textile? CaOCl2 bleaching powder. CaOCl2 is used as a bleaching agent in textile. What is the oxidation state of xenon in XeF2? In XeF2, xenon has a plus 2 oxidation states. F is equal to -1. Neutral molecule. Which elements is used in the production of fertilizer? Phosphorus derived from phosphate rock is essential for fertilizer production. What is the primary use of P4O10? P4O10 phosphoric acid production of phosphorus pentoxide. P4O10 reacts with water to produce phosphoric acid. Which compound is formed by reacting CA5PO4 3F with sulfuric acid? S3PO4. Fluorapatid CA5PO4 3F reacts with sulfuric acid to produce phosphoric acid. S3PO4. What is the structure of borazine compared to benzene? Cyclic with alternating boron and nitrogen. Borazine B3N3A6 has a cyclic structure with alternating boron and nitrogen atoms similar to benzene carbon rings. Which elements hydride is used in airbase? Nitrogen gas into produced from sodium azide is used in airbase. What is the primary use of CSO4 2H2O plaster of Paris calcium sulfate dihydride? CSO4 2H2O is used to produce a plaster of Paris. Which compounds is used in the production of matches? P4 white phosphorus. P4 was historically used in masses production. What is the oxidation state of chlorine in AClO4? +7 in perchloric acid. AClO4 chlorine has a +7 oxidation state. +1 O4 is equal to -8 neutral molecules. which compound is used in the production of ammonia via the Haber process. Nitrogen gas into is used with hydrogen in the Haber process to produce ammonia. What is the primary source of sulfur in nature? S8 elemental sulfur is a primary natural source found in deposits. Which compound is used in the production of silicon polymerase? SiCl4 silicon tetrachloride. SiCl4 is used to produce silicon polymers. What is the oxidation state of boron? In B2A6 plus 3 in diboron. B2A6 boron is typically considered to have a plus 3 oxidation state due to its bonding. Which compound is a byproduct in the wet process for a phosphoric acid production? CaSO4 2H2O calcium sulfate dihydrate. CaSO4 2H2O is a byproduct when a fluorapatite reacts with a sulfuric acid. What is the hybridization of carbon in a diamond? sp3. Which element is used in the production of borosilicate glass? Boron via B2O3 is used in borosilicate glass for thermal resistance. What is the primary use of SO2 in industry? Sulfuric acid production. Sulfur dioxide SO2 is a precursor in the production of sulfuric acid via the contract process. Which compounds is formed by reacting P4 with oxygen P4O10. White phosphorus P4 reacts with excess oxygen to form phosphorus pentoxide P4O10. What is the oxidation state of phosphorus in AH3PO4? Plus 5 in AH3PO4 phosphorus is plus 5. AH is equal to plus 1. O is equal to minus 2 neutral molecules. Which elements is used in the production of semiconductor besides silicon? Boron is used as a dopant in silicon based semiconductors. Which compound is used as a flux in metallurgy? CaCO3 calcium carbonate. CaCO3 is used as a flux to remove impurities in metallurgy. What is the primary use of NS3 in industry? Fertilizer production. Ammonia NS3 is used to produce the fertilizer like ammonia nitrate. Which compound is formed by reacting Xe with excess of fluorine? XeF6 xenon reacts with excess of fluorine under high energy to form XeF6. What is the coordination number of NiEN? 3 2 plus 6. Ethylene diamine En is bidentate. So 3 and ligands give a coordinate number of 6. Which compounds is used in the production of cements? CaCO3. Calcium carbonate. CaCO3 is a key raw material in cement production. What is the coordination state of sulfur in SO2? Plus 4 in SO2. Sulfur is plus 4. Plus 4O is equal to minus 2 neutral molecules. Which elements is used in the production of explosives? Nitrogen compounds like ammonia nitrate are used in explosive. What is the primary use of CaOS2? CaOS2 construction. Slacked lime. CaOS2 is used in construction for mortar and plasters. Which compounds is formed by heating CaCO3? CaO heating calcium carbonate. CaCO3 produce calcium oxide CaO and carbon dioxide. What is the hybridization of carbon in graphite? sp2. which compound is used in the production of sulfuric acid SO2, sulfur dioxide SO2 is oxidized to SO3 in the contract process for sulfuric acid. What is the oxidation state of phosphorus in P4O10 plus 5 in P4O10 phosphorus is plus 5. O is equal to -2 neutral molecules. Which elements is used in the production of photovoltaic cells? Silicon. Silicon is the primary materials in photovoltaic cells for solar energy. What is the primary use of CaCl to deicing calcium chloride? CaCl2 is used for deicing roads due to its hygroscopic nature. Which compound is formed by reacting NS3 with carbon dioxide, NS2 to carbon monoxide. CO ammonia reacts with carbon dioxide to form urea. NS2 to carbon dioxide in fertilizer production. What is the oxidation state of xenon in XeF6 plus 6? In XeF6 xenon has a plus 6 oxidation states. F is equal to -1 neutral molecule. Which compound is used as a drying agent? CaCl2 used as a drying agent. Calcium chloride CaCl2 is hygroscopic and used as a drying agent in laboratories. What is the primary use of H2SO4 in industry fertilizer production? Sulfuric acid H2SO4 is used to produce fertilizer like ammonia sulfate. Which compound is formed by reacting SO2 with oxygen in the contact process. SO3 in the contact process. SO2 is oxidized to SO3 with which is then used to produce sulfuric acid. What is the oxidation state of nitrogen in NS3? -3 in NS3. Nitrogen is -3. Hydrogen is equal to +1 neutral molecules. Which elements is used in the production of LEDs? Gallium often a gallium arsenide is used in LEDs due to its semiconductor properties. Which compound is used in the production of detergent? Na2CO3 sodium carbonate. Na2CO3 is used in detergent manufacturing as a water softener. What is the primary source of nitrogen for industrial ammonia production? Nitrogen. Atmospheric nitrogen is the primary source of ammonia production via the Haber process. Which compound is used in the production of glass besides SiO2? Calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate CaCO3 is used in calcium production to lower the melting points. What is the oxidation state of sulfur in H2SO 3 plus 6 in H2SO 4 sulfur is plus 6. Hydrogen is equal to +1. Oxygen is equal to -2 neutral molecule. Which compound is used in the production of paper as a filler? Calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is used as a paper filler in paper production to improve brightness. What is the primary use of pH3 semiconductor doping? Phosphine pH3 is used as a doping agent in semiconductor manufacturing. Which compound is formed by reacting chlorine with NaOH at a high temperature? NaClO3 at high temperature. Chlorine reacts with sodium hydroxide to form sodium chloride NaClO3. What is the coordination number of PTNS3 to Cl? 4. The complex has 2 NH3 and 2 Cl minus ligands, giving a coordination number of +4. Which elements is used in the production of steel? Carbon. Carbon is added to iron to produce steel, enhancing steel strength. What is the primary use of Na2B4O7? 10H2O, detergent production, borax Na2B4O7. 10H2O is used in a detergent as water softener. Which compound is formed by reacting carbon monoxide with hydrogen under uh, pressure. Carbon monoxide and hydrogen reacts under pressure to form methanol, CH3 OH. What is the oxidation state of chlorine in Cl to 0? The elemental forms of chlorine has an oxidation state of 0. Which compound is used in the production of toothpaste? CaCO3, calcium carbonate. CaCO3 is used as an abrasive in toothpaste.